Hi, it's Sharon Meredith, certified health coach with Take Shape for Life and creator of Fitness with Heart. I am here today with my really good friend, Sherry Swope. She is the best professional organizer. She just helped me organize my business, so she can do a lot of different things. But today, she's going to share some tips with us on paperwork organizing. So, Sherry, tell me what the biggest complaint is.
Oh my goodness, it's paperwork. People are inundated with it every day. It never stops. You get it in the mail, you get it in email, newspapers, you name it, it never stops because you get your mail almost 7 days a week in some cases. I mean, deliveries and whatnot, so it just never stops. So that's what I've noticed. Even when I work with clients on other topics or other areas in their homes or their businesses, paperwork is the number one complaint.
And Sherry did help me organize my office too, so that was fabulous.
That was fun.
That was, well, for you.
Yeah,
it was fun for me after it was done. So yeah, cool. So what are some tips that would help people with this inundation of paperwork?
Well, a couple of things that come to mind are definitely like we all get junk mail that comes in every day.
Yes, we do.
Where I live, I'm very fortunate that there is a waste bin right next to the mail slots. And so what I do is I don't even bring it into the house. It immediately, if it's junk mail, I'm never going to use it, never going to look at it. I don't even want it piling up on my counter or anywhere. It immediately goes in the trash. Mm-hmm. And then I only bring into the house what is of value to me and that I actually need to deal with.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's a huge thing. Another thing is to sign up for like e-bills. It's like when you get all your bills, you get those in the mail too. If you sign up for e-bills and then do online bill pay, mm-hmm. that will tremendously reduce the flow of mail and stuff coming in, paperwork coming in. You can always download onto your hard top, your desktop or your computer or whatever, if you want a PDF of the bill. So if you want to refer to it for tax purposes or anything like that, you can always do that. And so you can have areas set up in your laptop. It's like, okay, here's all my bill, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, so it's just in a very small contained spot on your laptop.
And it's so quick and easy.
Exactly.
Boom, bam, thank you, ma'am, you're done.
Exactly. Exactly. And then what I recommend doing, I mean, this is how I operate, but not everybody does it this way, is as soon as I get the bill, I immediately go online once a day and I get it into online bill pay and I file it or shred it or whatever, and then boom, done. I don't have a pile. But people that have really, really busy lives, not saying that I don't, but that's just happened to be how I operate. But people with really busy lives don't necessarily take the time or have the time on a day-to-day basis to do it. So I would say weekly, definitely how to do it weekly, because you want to make sure that you don't put yourself in position of getting late charges, mm-hmm. missing a payment. I thought I had set something up and I didn't. And then like 2 days after it was due, I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to set that up. So if I get out of my own rhythm and pattern of what works for me, then I start making mistakes.
That's what I love about you, because you help us with how it works for us. That's wonderful.
Oh yeah, it's all about you. It's I have my ways of doing things which may or may not resonate with you, may or may not work for you. So what I do is make sure it's like, okay, well, how do you function? How does your day flow? Right. How are you with all of this? And makes you feel and what feels natural.
And thank you for not making me color code.
Oh no. I have a client whose color is very important to her.
Yeah, it didn't work for me. Well, it wasn't. I just was like, I don't get it.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
No problem. The other thing is there are steps that you can take to get off mailing lists, because you do know that if you sign up for a catalog, they will sell your information to somebody else. So then it kind of like that shampoo commercial from years ago, and so on and so on. You tell two friends,
right?
Well, they'll sell your information and they'll keep going, and then you just keep getting inundated with things. So there are ways that you can actually get off of mailing lists for catalogs and other things like coupons and stuff.
Well, that's great. And you can save a tree.
Absolutely.
Good for the environment.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The other thing is people with kids. Kids are always coming home with their art projects and their drawings and schoolwork and stuff like that, and great that they've got this artistic stuff that you've got on your refrigerator and all that. But when you get it every day, every week, what do you do? And then sometimes you have where you're buried in your kid's art and you're like, what do I do? Because it's like, you assign a meeting to it. They may not care. So I would suggest that you basically sit down with your kids once a week, once a month, whatever works for you, maybe at the end of the school year, the middle of the school year, and say, pick 5 things that you want to hang on to that mean something to you, or that you have, you feel very proud of, or, you just love, and then get rid of the rest.
Great.
It's not like you're getting rid of your kid or their talent or anything like that, but you're also teaching them how to manage their things too, and how to manage paperwork, because you're teaching them skills in what to look for that is actually adding value to your life. Do you love it? Do you use it? I mean, there's a whole bunch of things that you can do for that sort of thing. So, to me, that's something that just kind of like pays it forward, and you're teaching them a skill at the same time.
Fantastic.
And they're the ones making the decision, not you.
Now, what if they want to keep it all?
That's the tricky part. That's where you're going to have to start setting boundaries and say, okay, space is limited, or, multiple, actually show them, if you have 5 things a week that you're bringing home, school, say 4, that adds up to however many pieces of treasures. And then you've got 12 years of school or more.
Right. Right. I get it. I'm just playing devil's advocate, because there's going to be kids that are like that. It's like, but I want it all.
I've worked with clients like that who they have, well, this needs to go in my memory box. And that's okay. But at a certain point, it's like, do you want a memory box, memory shed, or a memory storage unit?
Yeah, exactly.
You just got it, and it's basically about quality of life. Is it adding to your life? Things that have a negative association to it. Say you have a picture of somebody that really makes you feel bad. Why would you keep the picture?
Interesting.
Or it could be any pieces of paper. It could be anything that has like a negative association with it. Why bring yourself down? Why keep something that doesn't add value and make you feel good?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get if it's like legal stuff and stuff like that. You gotta have a happy balance there, especially if like you're divorced or deaths or something like that. That's trickier. But
you just hide those in the boxes because you never need them.
Yeah,
trust me.
Yeah, exactly. But you think, well, maybe I will. But maybe go on the IRS website and see kind of like what the statute is of limitations to keep certain things. Maybe you don't need to keep it, beyond 10 years. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
And then you have a shred party.
There you go.
So the other thing is along the lines with kids and takeout menus and just living our normal lives. There's information that you need to access frequently. A lot of us in this day and age also have our smartphones where you get in and out of it all the time, and it's just right at your fingertips. But if you have like a babysitter, or you need to leave your kids or your pets for somebody, you could have what I've heard termed as like a command central binder. And what this binder is whatever looks good to you and what fits for you aesthetically or functionally. It can look any way you want it to look. There's not one size fits all, but have sections in it where it's like, okay, here's all the information for the pets. Here's the vet. Here's the root feeding regimen, medicine, whatever that might be. You can have like a section for takeout menus. Anything that's like frequently accessed information. Have it in a like a binder or a folder or a container that works for you, and then that way it's not spread all over. You don't have piles all over the sink, or the kitchen counters, or what was the other thing? Kitchen counters. I work in homes and there's just piles everywhere. And you don't have to look at that. But people like that. It does so easily.
It happens
so easily. So that would be a good way to maintain it. But if it's information that you don't need frequently, like it's very rarely you're going to look it up, throw it away, or file it.
I'm a thrower outer.
Me too. But the command center binder is like school information if you have kids, doctors, dentists, stuff like that.
That's a great idea. Yeah. I hadn't heard that one.
It's whatever makes sense to you in your life. I mean, it can become something completely different. It could be your fitness regime. It could be your health, the information you need to go buy more, meal. It could be anything.
Awesome.
I have information at my fingertips. So those are like the quick things that I think people can actually start doing. Now, some people have backup, like a total backlog of work and piles and stuff like that. Start with today. Focus on dealing with what came in today, and then take 15 minutes, take 30 minutes, whatever you feel motivated get where it's like, oh, I have to do this. Whereas like, then it's just like this chore in a negative thing. Take 15 minutes and start chipping away at the backlog.
Little baby steps.
Baby steps.
Yeah,
if you
I love
like
it.
15 minutes, you know, do what you can in the 15 minutes and then walk away. And then the next time you have, you know, a little bit of free time and you feel like, okay, I've got the energy level to also, oh, that's what's really important too, is do these things at the time of day where your energy is strong. If you hate paperwork and you're tired, that is not a good combination.
Got it.
So that's what I would recommend.
Awesome. Really great. And also part of Healthy Mind, when you come to Healthy Mind, you cannot put a price on it, because if you have a cluttered state, I don't know about the rest of you, but I get totally freaked out. So take some of these tips to heart, put them into action, because action is what gets you somewhere. And I'm going to thank Sherry. If you would like, she actually gives 30 minutes free consultations, and you can find her at stateofbeingorganized.com. Thanks for joining. Have a great day.